It had been a long day of travel by the time we claimed our luggage, and the first morning light would come to Marina del Rey quickly. We jumped in our rented Toyota Matrix and headed north on Route 1 up to Malibu, where we watched surfers take advantage of building waves from a week-old storm in Tahiti. The growing surf from that distant storm would keep us from diving this first day of our vacation. Beverly Hills and Hollywood Boulevard replaced kelp forests and rock walls as we put on our tourist hats and took in the sights below the Hollywood Hills. Day 2, however, would promise to deliver what we had come for: diving. An hour-and-a-half drive north to Ventura would find us on board the 85-foot-long Spectre dive boat. The 40-diver capacity Spectre would take us an hour-and-a-half southwest to Anacapa Island, the easternmost member of the group known as the Channel Islands. Here we would do 3 dives, hopping from one cove to another in search of good viz and low surge. The wind was stiff and the sky was overcast as we donned our gear in preparation for the 8-foot giant stride off of Spectre's port side into the first of the day's dives. Once below the waves, we were immersed in a lime-green, dreamlike world where strange new fish weaved their way through cathedral-like towers of kelp. We too navigated this leafy slalom course as we chased fish and began to hunt for new invertebrates in the rocks. Giant kelp is one of the fastest growing organisms on Earth, up to 2 feet per day. The stipe, or central stalk, can reach the surface from as much as 160 feet below, where the holdfast attaches to rock like roots of a tree. Pneumatocysts, or air bladders, at the base of the leaves hold the stalk up by floating it toward the surface. Giant kelp is common along the west coasts of North and South America, as well as the southern oceans near Australia and South Africa. My friend and dive partner Rob acts not only as a buddy to recount great stories with, but is also an educated spotter of photographic opportunities. Having done some underwater photography himself, he knows what a challenge it can be. Here, Rob is pointing out a lobster who has backed himself under a rock overhang encrusted with spiny sea urchins. Lobster molts could be seen on the bottom, the discarded ghostly shells of the growing crustaceans. Sheephead fish are prevalent in these waters, and inquisitive dive partners, often circling us to find out what we're doing in their front yard. Rob can also act as a fish wrangler. By smartly positioning his body, he can oftentimes keep a timid fish in front of the video camera longer than it might otherwise be. Here we find the hollow shell, or what's known as the test, left behind by a dead sea urchin. Cucumbers are marine animals with an elongated body and leathery skin. These seafloor dwellers are common throughout the world. Cucumbers, like urchins, are both members of the phylum Echinodermata, as are sea stars, brittle stars, and crinoids. Urchins are slow-moving bottom dwellers, feeding mostly on algae and other invertebrates. These purple, red, brown, or green pincushions are favorite food of sea otters and wolf eels. If broken open, a fish may come around for a tasty treat. The surface interval before the next dive gives us time to jot notes into our logbooks before the memories fade. Back in the water for dive 2, we are immediately greeted by more curious fish. 30 feet below, resting on the bottom, a diver with his camera patiently waits for the perfect shot. The Channel Islands are ripe with macro photography subjects such as bat stars, rose anemones, and this 1-inch long Spanish shawl nudibranch. Nudibranchs are gastropods, more commonly referred to as sea slugs. These small neon-colored creatures are common throughout the world and come in over 3,000 different species. We also saw many different species of fish at Anacapa, like this copper rockfish Rob is persuaded into the camera's view by use of his fins. Good work, Rob. I got the shot. The plethora of life found here is made possible by the giant kelp and its holdfasts on the rocky bottom. The forest provides safety and food for all creatures, big and small. Back aboard the Spectre, the typical gray overcast skies of the morning have given way to warm sunshine as Rob and I say goodbye to Anacapa Island. Back home on the 43-foot motor yacht Aurora, cigars and beers are enjoyed while we reflect on the day's dives and wonder what tomorrow will bring.